This is First Up with Kane Corns. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Sarah, Olle and Kane. We head straight to the MCG, which is where we find you. Two old foes in Carlton and Essendon, locking horns until the final seconds. The Blues just holding on and coming out on top, keeping those finals aspirations alive.
They did, didn't they? But not without some hearts in their mouths. There's Akers kicking an epic goal. Some of the last quarter moments, you thought it was over here. With Zach Williams saluting to the Carlton fans and sending that into the second row of the stands, but just thought the Bombers didn't give up. Now, Martin was allowed to be the loose behind the ball because Chincotta was leaving him to go and tag Zach Merritt, and he became really dangerous. I just thought Dersman's game was enormous. It won't show up on the stat sheet, but sometimes the stat sheet lies. He went forward and took this mark, kicked a big goal. I thought it was his best game for the Bombers. I just thought some of his physical efforts were huge, and there's the relief for the Blues with a much needed win. They started so strongly. They were on fire in the first quarter, addressing the issues that had plagued them for the majority of the year, and that was their ability to transition the footy. They fixed that, but their second halves, in particular, the third quarter, is still a major issue for them.
What about the game of Tom De Koning? It was colossal. I mean, 11 years Todd Goldstein's junior, and didn't he run him ragged, and just confirm why he is still one of the hottest and most wanted signatures in the league at the moment?
Yeah, I was just chatting to Jack Silvani in the change rooms. He said, there's blank check for this guy. I mean, there's a level to that. I think the Saints are offering him a blank check, but you're right. I mean, Goldie's 36, so what did we expect? Probably this. But I think he really sensed that, and he sensed the vulnerability to Tom and had an enormous impact. It wasn't just his around-the-ground stuff, it was his ability from the ruck work. His score involvements had nearly 10 of those, and if he didn't play tonight, they probably lose by 2 or 3 goals.
So the Blues now sit in 11th spot. They're 2 games out of the 8. Let's take a look at their next 5 matches, because the first 3 you'd say are very winnable, Kane. Then it gets tough, Collingwood and Brisbane to come.
So the next 3, I mean, they've just got to sort this out against bottom 6 teams. So I think they will win those and should win those pretty convincingly. Will that answer any questions that we've got about them? Probably not, because they should be winning those games. Then it gets a bit more challenging for them. But you never know. You get some momentum. You get Harry Mackay back into the side and get him firing, sort some of your issues out, and that was the way they moved the football, and in particular their kicking, which has just been so poor this year, and they'll be feeling a lot better about themselves than they were, a month or so ago if we're fast forwarding to that. So sort out West Coast this week and get themselves to even on the ledger and try and make a run at it in the back portion of the season.
What did you make of Sam Durham's bump on Adam Cerra? For me, a bit of a rogue action. We don't see this all too much, do we? And he was lucky in the end, Durham, that there was no concussion for Cerra.
Sarah, I think rogue's a good word. I think it's kind. I think it was stupid. I think it was dangerous. I think it put your opponent in one of the more treacherous and dangerous positions that any opponent has been in this year, and to only focus on the player in that moment when the ball is there to win in dispute was just a strange action, and one that, as you said, he is so lucky that Cerra is not in hospital with a spinal issue or injury tonight. That could so easily have happened. We're past this. We're past that action, and don't compare it to Tom Stewart. Completely different. Noah Anderson's head wasn't anywhere near the contact that Tom Stewart made with him. Durham's head is over the football. Cerra's head is over the football. He's in a vulnerable position. Durham comes in with no thought to win the ball, but to bump. We all love Sam Durham. Don't get me wrong. We love the way that he plays, but this was dangerous, and he is just so lucky that he's only looking at a 1-match suspension and not a serious issue and injury to his opponent.
Did you have any issue with the way that the Blues conducted themselves? I mean, it took some 10 minutes, I think it was, for Adam Cerra to come off the ground and get a head injury assessment. Did the Blues fail him somewhat? I know he was kind of saying, I'm okay, but that's what a player is going to say in that situation.
Yeah, so we checked with them tonight, and they said they did everything by the book. They checked with him straight away. They then left him to take the kick. But to me, any doubt, just get him off. I mean, we've seen what happened with Lachie Schultz. If there is any doubt, if it's a significant issue like that, a confronting issue, just get them off. I mean, that's the first thing that you would do. So whilst the Blues will say by the book they probably did everything right, I just think if you're in any doubt, get them off straight away and work out if there's an issue. If not, great, and get him back on like they did eventually. But I agree, I think it just took too long.
I love how plucky the Bombers have been this year. They keep on going until that final siren, and they're doing it while blooding talent. Tonight, their 8th debutant in Le Mans Lual, and this was a beautiful moment pre-match, his father handing him his AFL jumper.
I think this is a day for Le Mans. His dream has become true, so your dream is going to be true today. Le Mans, I'm very proud of you, man. And this is your jumper. Where is with honor and pride of the Bombers.
So that's his father there, Thomas, handing over the first jumper. And didn't he wear the jumper with pride, Kane? Le Mans Lual joining that prestigious club, the first kick, first goal. And it's moments like this, you do have to step back sometimes and realise these are the best bits of footy, aren't they?
Oh, goosebumps. Look at it. Absolute goosebumps. Just the joy of that. And well done. That was a big goal. It was their first goal. It was a clutch goal because they needed it desperately. He played a bit of wing, and you can see the attributes that he's got, speed and power, and he was actually really smart the way that he positioned himself a couple of times tonight. So I'm with you. I said 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I got smashed for it, that the Bombers are on the right track. I think there's so many things lining up well for them. And yes, it was scrappy tonight. Yep, there was a number of missed handballs. They overused the football at times, but they don't have a ruckman. Their injury list is so long. No Reid, no Mackay, no Ridley, no Redmond behind the ball. For them to fight and scrap as well as they did in the last 2 weeks against, certainly the reigning premiers Brisbane and a pretty good side in the Blues tonight, I think the Bombers fans should be really proud of the efforts that their team is putting in.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.